I'll look for the section. Check.
What's your number, ate? Ate, what's your number? Ate?
Yes, Joyce. Are you getting me?
What's, what's your number?
Number 6. Mm,
You're 6?
yeah.
Okay. So I'm next. I'm at 2. And yeah, looking forward to the session.
Is anyone recording?
Yes, I am.
Oh, awesome. That's great. So does anyone want to facilitate and get topics started?
Okay, let me do it. Okay, topics. Does anyone has a topic?
We
Any
can start with Uma's
topics?
topic.
I think we can list that, then we can. Okay. Can we list all the topics that we are going to discuss?
My topics would be like terms of involvement and the payment, final payment agreement discussion, and I think those are the only two things I really have as far as, and then Uma, of course.
Okay, then are we going to vote or we just pick a topic?
Yeah, whatever topics you guys want to do is good with me. If no one has any preference, we should start with Uma because he's requested it. People first.
Okay. Then create the topic. Okay. Topic 1. No, before that. 1. So how many minutes? How many minutes? Oh, everyone is silent. Last minute. Yeah.
That's pretty normal. Whatever minutes you guys want to do.
Desired outcome.
Mhm.
That would be up to Uma because it's his topic.
Oma, your desired outcome
I,
topic, please.
my desired outcome is to receive the reimbursement again on crypto.
Then right. To, you said your desired outcome
Right.
to get addition.
Via crypto, like I requested.
Okay. I have created the tab. Can you do the proposal?
I don't know if it will be necessary.
Hmm.
I don't know if it will be necessary because I don't know if it will pass. Hmm. I'll do the proposal. My proposal is to receive the reimbursement again because actually even before I requested that I receive the reimbursement via crypto, but because I
Oma,
was hired
just
through,
just write down
can
on
you hear me?
under the topic one.
So how will I be talking and writing down? I can
Okay.
only do one at a time.
Okay. Let me. Just say then. Reimbursement.
I already requested to receive the reimbursement via crypto, but I know I was hired through Wakanda. But they have very strict conditions in there. Their conditions are not so favorable. For instance, today is a withdrawal day, and it's a withdrawal day and another payment comes in during the withdrawal time, then you will not be able to withdraw. Your withdrawal will be postponed to a further date. But I really needed my withdrawals to come because I needed to pay my bills. Not even $44 that will be enough for my bills, but at least if I got that $44 through cryptocurrencies and I managed to withdraw the other one, like I usually do it, then I could be better off right now. But if I can get the $44, at least I can be able to sort one or two things. Then the other ones I could postpone to a later date. That's the request I have. If it passes, well and good. If it doesn't, then still well and good as well. At least when the reimbursement was being rolled out, you could have inquired why somebody just decided to choose a different payment method. Know that they are
It's
in
because we're
contract or
required
something.
by law, as I've said for the 10th time, based on the Workana contract with you. You contracted through
I'm not.
Workana. It's a 2-year contract. We're required by law to pay you through Workana. So for the 10th time,
Well,
that
but
is why.
if the reimbursement was run on Tuesday, then this wouldn't have been a question here right now. If it was run on Monday, this wouldn't have been the question here right now. But because it was run today, that's why it has really
How
made me
many
more
times did
inconvenient.
you schedule on to work on reimbursement last week?
I did actually. It was me and Luz and you who had been doing this all along.
Actually, that's not
We
true.
did it like 3 or 4
Mamoon
times.
did it almost entirely on his own.
Mamoon did it today because we scheduled, but I was asleep.
All I'm
We
saying is
scheduled,
that
but I was asleep
if
at
you
that
want the
time.
reimbursement done sooner than you would have done 2 weeks ago, you would schedule every single day to do reimbursement. I do not remember you scheduling every single day to work on reimbursement. I remember nobody working on reimbursement and then Mamoon taking it upon himself to move the reimbursement forward.
Okay, but I
So
think my
we can
details in
discuss it as a
there was
team,
to
but
receive the reimbursement or via crypto. My details in there was to receive the reimbursement via
that's just
crypto.
not
I was
applicable
surprised.
because it is against the contract law with Workana. We are required to pay people on Upwork and Workana through Upwork and Workana because it's the contract law. Like, obviously you don't understand that. So for the 11th time, I'm making that clear.
Yeah,
There is no
honestly,
legal ability to
I
not
also
pay you through Workana.
I also do understand you, Jay, but my reason for I had a reason for having made a request to be paid via crypto, because already actually, if the reimbursement was done on Tuesday and it was paid through Wakana, I couldn't be having any problems. If it was done on Monday, the same thing, I couldn't be having any problem. But because
Okay,
it was
so
run
we
today,
should have
that's where the
scheduled
problem came
earlier
in.
and done more work, right? So it's you're at fault too for not making sure we scheduled and got the reimbursement completed earlier,
I think
right?
we did. I
It's
did.
everybody's is
Lucy
responsible for this,
Lucy
but
did.
let's just do the proposal and vote on it and see what happens.
It's okay. Uh, it's okay.
Like anytime someone does not want to be paid through Upwork or Workana, it requires a vote and breaking contract, which then has to go to the HR board and it gets reviewed by the board of directors because it's a legal contract.
Yeah. It was messy, anyway. Let's see how it goes.
Are we going to vote on this proposal? Is it a proposal?
Yes, I believe it is a proposal.
Okay, OMA proposal for additional reimbursement detailed for $4 to pay bills. Wakana required the law I don't know how is it about to be. I don't know how the proposal should look like.
Can I send you a picture so that you attach to that proposal?
You can just put it on under your notes, under the home of topic one.
No. Yeah.
What's next?
I'm putting I'm adding the picture just in a minute. Hey, yeah, yeah. Mm. Uh, Lucy, can you help me do that kindly? Let me just send it on Discord, then you attach it for me.
I can't even see what is this. Not.
Yeah, let me just send it on Discord, then you insert it there for me kindly. I'm not on my laptop today.
Okay.
Yeah, I sent it. I sent it on coding.
Okay. I pass it there.
Hmm?
I passed.
Great. So that's what the problem was. I received a payment when the payout cycle had already started, so I couldn't get my payout. And that was a messy, very messy with me. Messy for
Okay,
me.
proposal to for additional reimbursement for $4 to pay bills. Formal proposal. Detailed because Wakana has the rule to follow. The request to pay via the request was to pay via crypto. I don't know if we are going to vote. Maybe any question, any question, concern, any question. Ah, I think everybody is silent. I think I can't do thing alone. If people are silent, there's no way I can do it alone.
We can move to the next topic if nobody is willing to contribute on that. Mhm.
Hello, are we on break?
Hello? Anyone here?
Yes, yeah.
Anything? Is anything happening, or what's going on? All I'm getting is silence. I feel like this is pretty typical as for our sessions when I'm not facilitating and just you guys are just sitting around not actually doing anything. This seems to be how sessions typically go.
It looks like maybe nobody is willing to contribute to that proposal. We can as well cancel it. Yeah, we can.
Someone's supposed to read the proposal and we're supposed to vote on it.
Okay, so UMA proposal for additional reimbursement $44 to pay bills. Details because Workana has the rule to follow, and details request to be paid via crypto. And what is this? Payments from clients have been received during the payment cycle. We'll only receive payments from Workana when the money was released before the beginning of the payment cycle. So any question?
No question from me.
Okay, any concerns?
Lots of concerns. Does anyone want to try to list the concerns?
Okay.
Nobody wants to try to list the concerns?
Okay, what's your concern,
Does
Garrett?
anyone think of a concern or no? We've already gone through all the concerns. I'm just seeing if anyone was listening and taking notes or doing anything during the session. Actually, I think we've gone over the concerns 3 times. So just to confirm, nobody was paying attention or doing that 3 times?
You said Workana has a rule to follow.
Taking notes on it or seems to be paying attention to it. So the first concern is that it would be against the legal contract for Workana, and which is not allowed to be done. The second concern is that we would have to double pay UMA, which we've actually done already and not gotten anything back. So we would just expect to lose that money since there's no other arrangements. And typically under our policies, we'd have to wait anyways to get the money back from Workana, which could take weeks. I mean, who knows how long that would take. And then thirdly, obviously, this has to be reviewed by the HR board and then also has to go to board of directors for review as well. It can be voted on by the HR board and be reviewed by the board of directors. So I think those are the 3 main concerns. I guess the only other concern that I would list in terms of on my own is that we're all going through like significant issues and problems. I could talk about all of the problems I'm having for hours, but I can't even count the number of bills that I can't pay and all of the other financial issues that I'm dealing with. And it's just like, I can't even bring up the idea of even getting paid with this group. The majority has no interest in me being treated as a human being or getting any funds at all. So in that context, it's definitely concerning for everybody. And that's a big concern for me that no one seems to be concerned about making sure everyone's getting their pay. So it's like, why should we go to our trouble to be concerned about others? The team has also another concern is that the team has, supported NANO with this legal action. And so in the middle of the legal action, it's really difficult to do anything that's not to the book. Like, because of the legal action, we really are required to follow all of our policies to the T, as well as like making sure we're following the law and everything, because everything is that much more scrutinized and detailed when you're within a legal action. And that is just the choice that the majority of the team has made. And so we have to live with that responsibility, even though it's very, very detrimental to many, many team members, including myself. Check.
Okay, let's vote.
Anyway, since no one's voting, I'll go ahead and vote and also say one other thing. I certainly would love to, if people wanted to prioritize working with my needs and getting me paid as well. We actually call that JLN support, and we actually have that as client work. So it's like we can actually pay people and pay the team to actually work and help me. But it's like no one even wants to make that a topic. But if we wanted to make that a topic, like that would be amazing. Also, people could schedule for that, and it would actually be client work, which of course no one's been doing client work for 2 months now, and I don't think the last time we even did JLN support was like 6 or 8 months ago, and it's probably Alberta was the only person who cared at all to do that. So as far as my vote, I think the best I could vote would be like a 4. I'm a negative abstention.
You're a 4.
So, okay, so before I vote, I'll just ask a question. This proposal, does it mean that if you pass, the money will be sent to him through crypto, or would it be sent again to Wakanan? Or are we going to make another proposal to vote to send to Wakanan?
We already sent the money on Wakana.
That's not the answer to my question. This proposal doesn't mean that if in case it passes, will the money be sent to crypto or again to Wakanan?
The proposal is to send the money again to crypto so that he can get it faster as well as on Workana. So he would get double payment on Workana and crypto. That's my understanding for the proposal.
But I don't see where it says that the money should be sent through crypto. Okay,
Says
I see
here.
here request to be paid through. Okay. Okay. I should go ahead and vote.
Also, I'm pretty sure voting yes on this is policy
during
tracking.
I thought I said I've seen it.
Also, I think it's good.
I've seen it.
Wait, Samir. What did you say, Joy?
I was saying that I'm pretty sure that this particular proposal is, like if people voting yes on it, it is against policy and would be policy training, like 1 hour policy training or something like that.
How much are you supposed to receive, Uma?
44.75.
44?
0.75.
Okay, so it was sent already to Workana, right?
Yeah, actually, being that it was sent to Okana today is the problem because the payment cycle starts at 00:0002 on Wednesday. If any money comes during that time when the payment cycle has started, then you won't receive your withdrawals until the next payout, which will now bring me more problems. And yet there are crucial things I need to pay. Well, I need more than $44, but at least that $44 will help me pay one or two things. Then I'll pay the others later on. If the money was sent yesterday, or if it was sent on Monday, like before Wednesday, which is today, if it was sent before today, then I could be having this question here today, right now.
So does it mean that when the cycle must have been completed, you are still going to receive that $44? They will still send another $44 now if you pass.
I did get you. No, they would be actually. If the payroll is being run now, these amounts can be deducted from my payroll. I have no problem with that.
Yeah,
When running
that's
the
what I
payroll, they
wanted
can be
to
deducted.
suggest. Yeah, that's what I wanted to suggest. Since
Yeah.
the money has been sent to Wakana, but he can't access it now until later. So if we give it to him now through crypto to solve his problems, so the pay that he's supposed to get later can be deducted from.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different
Yeah.
scenario.
And my understanding is there's already amounts to deduct as well, and so that will have to be addressed at that time. Yeah.
Deduct any amount to be deducted in the payroll.
Okay.
So maybe we have to include it in the notes, something like that, right?
Is that the one to be deducted from payroll?
You can just say the amount like $44.
$44 to be deducted too.
I think that should even be under details, eh?
Where should it be? In the question?
Under details, Jay. Details.
Details.
Details. Oh, details. Okay.
Yeah.
Next. Details. Wait. How to put the details now?
Uh,
Above.
just
Up.
yeah, it's okay.
Okay, like that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, let's vote.
Over a 7.
I'll vote a 7 as well.
7.
So let me do my policy tracker.
Okay. Now average. Average. What happened? D36. No, that is 8. 36. So barely pass, right?
So, are you saying that it barely passed? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to verify everyone voting yes would do their policy training.
Yeah.
So this requires policy training. Okay.
Well, anyone who didn't do policy training, their vote, if they voted yes, their vote wouldn't count. Because this particular proposal is against policy. And then also this does need to go to the HR board for vote as well. And it can be sent to them on the Discord. So is someone going to send it to the HR board? So as far as sending the money, if it's sent in 24 hours, is that going to work? Uma.
Uma, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Then answer Jaden.
Jay, I didn't hear you clearly.
The question
Jay says,
is, if you got the money transferred and sent in 24 hours, would that work?
Actually, if it's sent now, it will even work better than after if it's sent after 24 hours.
Okay, so under our emergency processing policy, it would be 24 hours for the HR board to review. So if that doesn't work for you, then when you're communicating with the HR board, we would need to get an emergency HR board decision where at least one HR board member approves it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So if you need this any time sooner than in 24 hours, I would recommend getting that sent over there immediately and trying to see if there's any review or concerns by the HR board. Because otherwise, it'll be 24 hours.
Okay. Okay.
The next topic is term of involvement. Can we do first final payment?
Sounds good.
Where to put which HR board, which channel?
I think HR board update were okay.
How many minutes?
Shall we tell them to vote or what?
No, I'm not allowed to vote. They can just
Who?
review and give objection.
Yeah, they would review and they have 24 hours to review and do objections. But
Review. Okay.
since Uma is requesting emergency, you might ask them to if at least one board member could approve the proposal. That might help with the emergency situation, but it's just I don't know. It's very difficult. So typically we would take the 24 hours. So I don't know. We'll just have to see.
HR board. Okay.
So Uma, you should definitely prepare to wait the 24 hours. We'll see what.
Is it that there are no members of the? I'm asking. Is it that there are no members of the HR board in this meeting right now?
Did anyone understand Uma's question?
Yeah, she's asking if there's no HR board member in this meeting. The reason there's nobody. Are you seeing anybody apart from us?
No, nobody is HR board here yet.
Okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, you're not seeing them, so they're not here.
Topic 2.
Oh, shit.
Final payment. Are you in agreement for that?
No objection from me. Oh, God.
I have created the tab, so Jay, you can take it over from there.
Okay, well, I'll try to introduce this. I obviously the team can do whatever you guys want to, but I'm on audio only, so I'm like 50% value, right? I can't really coordinate anything, but my recommendation, which is what I said on Discord already, was that we would zoom in from the $2,000 to $9,000 range, but you can keep the 24,000 options. So that would basically you would basically have option one 24,000, option two 9,000, option three 8,000, option four 7,000, option five 6,000, option six 5,000, option seven 4,000, option eight 3,000, option nine 2,000, and then vote on those and just kind of see where the team sort of lands at this time after reviewing and understanding the votes from the round one tally. Yeah. And then as far as like, a simple viable option, like, I mean, my understanding from here, I mean, mainly like Uma, Gloria, it's very small amounts of money. Lucy's going to get more money, but she's interested in potentially continuing. So really it's like Joyce and Ate getting clarity on their individual needs and just starting with the biggest problems. So we could also talk about just one person at a time. For example, Ate and Joyce getting $500, immediately, like today or tomorrow, and then $1,500 with a agreement on addressing everything and moving on with the team, right? So that would be like an example of a solution as far as like, but anyways, that's just an example. We would need to talk to each individual and see what they're willing to do. Check. And what we can get agreement on, of course.
Jay, I didn't really get your example. Can you say it again?
The example as far as the options, or the example as far as just one person?
One person. I heard you said something. You said Jay, Joyce, and Ate, something like that.
Okay, yeah. So basically, there's two payments that we are discussing overall. There's like an immediate payment, getting some people some money just like right away, right? So for example, maybe Gloria gets like $100, $200, Uma gets $100, Lucy and Joyce, Ate get like $500 or whatever. So that would be like one level, just immediate payment today, tomorrow, whatever, just getting some people some money, covering like all of our base amounts, right? So then the second question is, okay, we're in a legal action, right? The goal is, what would you, Ate, want to be paid to be able to feel good about moving forward, and then allowing the team to move forward and ending all of the past stuff, right? So that would be an example, would be like $1,500, right? So you paid $500 immediately today, and then $1,500 for the total. Just for you, Ate, would that be sufficient? If not, that's fine, but that's what the idea is as far as like an initial concept of like an immediate payment right away, and then getting agreement on a much larger payment that's like 3 or 4 times bigger. That would be to address all of the past stuff and get everybody back even so that the team can move forward. Does that sort of make sense, Ate?
Yeah, makes sense.
So we can either go one at a time and kind of talk to each person on what their needs are, but also just put it eventually has to go into a whole proposal. And so that would be like the $2,000 to $9,000, and then there's also the 24,000 option that hasn't been ruled out. Check.
Okay, so I would like to find out something. Joyce, do you want to say something?
No, you can go ahead, I think.
Yeah, you can go, Ate.
Okay. So, are we first of all going to first of all go with the other two proposals, the 8,000, 9,000, 20,000, 5,000 first before we go individually?
It's however you guys want to do it. You guys can do whatever you want to. It's fine. In the end, we just have to do both. Anyway, we have to focus on each individual and make sure there's agreement from each individual, but we also need to add everything together and understand the whole and the whole how it relates to the budget, right? Or the budget, since we're multiple budgets. But yeah, check.
So, for me, if we need to go individually, we just need to copy those amounts that are in that spreadsheet. We link here, and then I think we'll go from there. That's the agreement.
Another thing that could be helpful would be to, take look at the payroll calculations, kind of see the general totals that people are talking about, and then to assign percentages. So let's say we all agreed on $4,000 or whatever, $3,000. I don't know, whatever we agreed on. If a Tay gets 20%, in terms of her 20% ownership and involvement, and then you know Gloria has her 3% or 4%, Uma has 1%, and then maybe you know Lucy is also 20% and Joyce is 20%. The idea is if you looked at everyone's percentages, then you might get an idea of how much people would get in regards to each amount as another kind of context of understanding the amounts. Obviously, we're going to need to go through each individual, and we're going to need to look at the actual work output and the actual hours and all that kind of stuff. But as far as just in the end, we're just talking about an amount of money and a percentage of the money in an overall budget. So we can have as much backing with all of our details on everybody's hours and everybody's, work output and all that stuff. But really, that's just for auditing purposes, right? In the end, it's just getting agreement on how much money each person's getting and, what the total is, which is each person will have a percentage of the total. Check.
Anyone else?
So will this go again to what's that? The votation now? The votation now will be final or How is it?
Anything voted on now will not be final. Everything has to be reviewed by, I mean, the HR board, right, for the team. And then in relationship to the ownership, we're all owners, so that can get voted on by any and everybody, including Alex, and everybody's affected by it. So everything will, just like every other vote, goes to a voting form. But if we have voted on something today, approved it, sent it to a voting form, and then it was approved again, it would basically be approved. We would still need to meet some criteria and make sure there's an audit trail and everything like that, because we can't like just send out money without being able to justify it. But other than that, the only other criteria is the UMCUS loan, because if we're talking about more money than the base pay, it is a loan. And so the UMCUS loan is maybe we could deal with that tomorrow during the main session, or it could be done today. But the bottom line is, if the team could get agreement on the amount of the payment, the UMCUS loan today, send it out on the voting form and have it agreed on the voting form. Final arrangements could be made tomorrow and get everything sent out within a couple days, right? As far as like tomorrow or Friday or whatever, before the weekend. So, but that would take obviously a lot of effort and compromise with the whole team getting agreement. Does that make sense, Joyce, as far as the whole process?
Okay, so you were also saying a while ago if we can also suggest like some immediately and the others to follow, something like that, right?
Yeah, I mean that's basically needs to happen already, right? So um, the immediate payment is just like a small amount that just needs to go out immediately, and really that is separate from any sort of um, final payment, right? Because the immediate payment only represents basically, you know, the last month, really. I mean, just like a small amount of money that just getting it all covered so that everything is even with the base pay. Um, but we could, buffer it a little bit and just make something that people help people out for a little. So, but overall, the goal is to get the big payment finalized for the final payment, and then um, typically that would take like a week if we all compromise and work through it together and got everything finalized and legal. But it's technically possible to do it in 24 to 48 hours if there's really a lot of effort put into it, and that there's like complete compromise and complete agreement on it, right? So my expectation is everyone's serious about finalizing these payments. We could easily do it within a week, even before April 8th, and even get budget agreement and everything. But if there's, real major interests and we just want to do everything immediately, it's technically possible to get it all done within 48 hours, but we're not in a super hurry here. It makes more sense to get things done correctly than be in a hurry. But in the end, it just doesn't, the time is not really the factor. The factor is getting agreement and what the vote is. So that is really what matters. Does that make sense, Joyce?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And in my perspective, the most difficult of all of the votes, as far as like, I mean, the team can basically decide whatever it wants to by majority, right? And so that's the easiest vote. The hardest vote is the UMCUS vote with the ownership, right? So, because that's the vote taking on the loan and then understanding the loan and the client expectations, and that's just a little bit more complicated. But I don't think it's like impossible. It's just, you know, if the team votes on a fair outcome, then the UMCUS vote will be very easy. If the team votes on an outcome that is like very lopsided towards not, a lot more money for not much client output, then the client UMCUS vote would be more difficult, right? So it's about creating that happy medium where you know, you're getting a maximum money for the team with the maximum verification of the client output for the client, and that will have, and there's got to be an amount of money there that is the perfect amount for both sides, right? So in that context, the easiest thing to do would be to prove multiple options. Like if let's say people were okay with 3,000, that's fine. That's kind of like on the low end, right? But let's say people are okay with 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, or 7,000. Like if you approved 4 options, then in the UMCUS vote, the UMCUS would have multiple options to decide on to get the perfect figure. Whereas if the team only approves 24,000, then UMCUS only has one option to vote on, and it's basically a yes or no vote, and then the outcome is decided based on that. Does that sort of make sense in terms of the more options that are approved, the more flexibility there is for UMCUS, and the easier it is to get approved. But again, we don't have to be in a hurry. What's more important than being in a hurry is making sure everybody is getting the correct amount of money and that it is the maximum for the team, the maximum output for UMCUS is the ideal on both sides. Check.
So, Jay, who are those voting for UMCOS?
I mean, basically, it's anyone related to the ownership and the the clients, right? But my expectation is this: basically all of us as the team. Maybe Alex might vote, and then you have HR board, and then there's Alberto. So in my mind, everybody who's already been voting, the only person we would expect to see in addition to that would be Alberto. Does that make sense? And that's because we're literally spending Alberto's money. He is the client still, right? We're using the money he gave us for these payments, so he deserves to get something
He
out
is
of
the
those
client.
payments. Exactly, yes. He's still the client.
Which
He's still
client?
the client?
I'm confused.
The money that we are spending is money that came from ACU, which is one of our sponsored programs, right? Does that make sense? And Alpha in terms of the money that went to Activity to pay myself, right? So either the money has to come from my payments from Alpha, or it needs to come from ACU. There's nowhere really else for the money to come from unless we can verify nonprofit work from the nonprofits. Does that make sense?
I don't remember. I think we declared the Alberto terminated the contract. So when you keep saying that he's a client, I'm confused. I don't understand what's going on.
Okay, so the client is basically, our client is the public, because we are publicly accountable. Anybody in the public, anyone across the world can basically vote on any proposal, including the UMCUS proposal, right? So when we have of all of our votes, the only vote that's really completely public and open is the UMCUS vote, because we are accountable to the public, because we are a public charity. Therefore, our clients and the beneficiaries of the work that we do is the public, right? So beyond that, you could also argue that not only is Alberto the public, but he's also a client, because we're literally using the money that he, invested into ACU and brought into our work, right? That's where the money came from. Does that make sense?
So you mean the money is still there? Because you kept on saying that it's gone,
Yeah,
no
that we
more.
lost the client and the
Mm.
money is gone. So the money is still there. That's what you're saying.
Alberto paid us $14,000 total.
So the
When he
money is still
left,
there.
well, I'll tell you exactly how much is there. When he left, and we can verify all of it. When he left, that was 5 months ago.
Hmm.
There was probably $6,000 left, right, from SVG, right, in the SVG account from ACU. And then over the time of the last 5 months, we have spent many $1,000s per month, and there is less. And obviously, that's been distributed through many accounts besides just SVG. But within SVG, it's down to about $2,000 to $3,000. And because I am traveling, I did transfer the money out of ACU. I mean, not ACU. I transferred the money out of SVG. So right now, the SVG account for the first time is zero. There's no money in it, but there is 2,500, 2,600 or something like that in the transfer account so that I have access to it while I'm traveling, so that we can do the payments from anywhere. So it's not a lot of money that's there, that's left in the SVG funds from Alberto, right? It's very, very small amount of money. And then the rest of the money that's in the for-profit would be in the activity from Alpha, right? That got payments from my work that I did for Alpha. And that's just the money that's in the other account. And I don't know exactly how much there is there, but you can check the accounting tab, right? So the accounting spreadsheet has all the details of how much money is in every single wallet and account. Yeah, check.
From everything you just said now, I'm still not clear the involvement of Alberto in all this. Let me just say something. I would like that this session should be just as peaceful as possible
Agreed.
because I'm tired of all the stress, shouting. That's why I've been abstaining from all that for some days now. So I don't see Alberto as a client anymore, except it's a new client. But talking about ACU, we already terminated the contract with he terminated the contract with us, and I think that was what happened. So you keep insisting because you want Alberto to participate in all this. To me, it sounds like we are not going to get agreement somewhere. You're not supposed to
I
force
mean,
Alberto on us.
I've
Jay, can I
talked
please
to,
finish? Can I
please,
please
yes.
finish?
Yeah,
Thank
I'll
you.
go next.
You're not supposed to force Alberto on us. We agreed that Alberto will be involved in F-Train if the team agrees. For now, the team I see the team is still there until your April 8th, something like that. If the team agrees for him to be involved. So if we have not yet agreed and you keep on forcing Alberto on us as client, when you are barely when we ask you is the money still available, the 14,000, that if he's available, even if the money is still available, he is no longer our client. That is just it. So I don't see why you're trying to force him on us. This is literally forcing Alberto on us, and I'm not okay with that. I don't want a situation where I have to pick a fight with anybody anymore. I'm tired. I'm just tired of all the fights and all the rest. Check.
Okay, I'll go next. I 100% agree with you on all of the controversy and the conflict and the fighting. It's just completely overwhelming. Um, which is why I put so many, like, dozen hours into trying to get a mediator and all that. I'm very thankful that today's session has been going very calm and mellow, so it's a really good sign. Um, what we're discussing here is what we would call a definition, right? So what is the definition of UMCUS? And UMCUS is termed as the umbrella customer, right? And so if you think about what an umbrella customer is, the opposite of an umbrella customer is the team. And specifically, when I say the team, the workers, right? So if the definition of umbrella customer is limited to just the workers, for me, that is obviously the opposite of what the definition of umbrella customer is. So for me, the definition of umbrella customer really is the public, because we are publicly accountable, and anyone should be able to get involved in the discussions of the work output, because the work that we're doing is for the public. It's for, all of the organizations across the entire network, which means that anybody in the network really has a role in the umbrella customer role if they choose to. Obviously, most people choose not to, but that also includes the team, includes us. So we have a right to vote on the umbrella customer um, decisions, even though we're the workers, right? So I agree, it is concerning having Alberto back involved. He did so under his own accord. I did not invite him to get back involved. I was not trying to have him come back involved. He chose to himself and said that based on his original leave time, he said he was taking 3 months off. He took 3 months off, and then he came back 3 months later. So in that or 4 months later, whatever it was. So in that context, he's not allowed to work in FQN. I don't want him working in the Unity fork either, because it is just, it's too much, right? And there's already been some tension there. But either way, I have a vision of how the Unity fork is going to evolve, and it's very slow, and it does not need anyone's involvement really, unless it's based on the vision there and all of the details that will be addressed in months, right? There's just not really a hurry on that. So Alberto has chosen to create his own fork, which is the SVN fork. And it's perfectly viable. I don't really want to be in the budget. I don't want to be in the budget for whoever continues with FQN, which is the primary lineage of the old team. So anyways, just to kind of wrap up, I think he does have a valid right as a person involved in FQV umbrella of the entire network to give his input on UMCUS. If we feel as a group that he is manipulating the vote and he is trying to block things unnecessarily, there is definitely always the context to say, okay, he is voting in conflict of interest. And then we can bring that up and we could consider removing his vote. But my discussions with him, I don't know, Lucy's talked to him, Mamoon has talked to him. I just see no reason why we should fear his vote. It's only one vote of potentially 20, 30 people
It's
that
not a
can
matter
vote.
of
Okay.
fear. It's
Yeah.
not a matter of fear.
Check.
Let's be careful with our vocabulary. It's not a matter of fear.
Huh?
It's a matter of avoiding issues. Because at least for me, I can quarrel from now to the next 3 days. I have no health issue with that. I have no problem. But I just think that it is like destroying my professional knowledge. I'm not going to end up in FQN. If I go somewhere and that attitude follows me there, that's an issue for me. It's destroying me as a human being. So it's not a matter of fear. It's a matter of it's a matter of following policy and agreeing as a team, as I used to hear this lately.
Yeah. So again, Alberto gets one vote, just the same as everyone else's. His vote should not be able to affect the outcome. As far as I understand, if we cannot achieve consensus, majority approval is enough.
Okay,
Right?
Jay.
That we can get majority. So in that context, with moving everything forward, the key is the fact that the team it doesn't exist, right? The team is gone. We're not doing work. There's no client work happening. We're looking at dissolving the team and doing something else. So that means that everything that's left is just ownership, right? We're all equal owners in the cooperative, and that includes Alberto. Alberto has a lot of tokens and a lot of ownership in our co-op, and he's equal to everybody else at the fact that we are doing a dissolution proposal as a final payment. There really is not a lot of justification to not allow him to vote.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's good for all of us, but it is just the current status that we're in, So
Okay, Jay.
we have to just deal with it. Yeah, but I don't think that he's going to cause any problems.
No,
I don't
you
see
should
why,
you should not
as
wait.
an individual, he could.
on me.
Wait
When
a
you say I have
minute.
to do it means as if you are forcing. Don't say I have to deal with it. You are not forcing on me. It's not like a punishment you're giving to. Don't say I have to deal with it. What's the meaning of that?
Jay. So,
Yeah,
if Alberto has a right to vote, so everybody who has ownership has the right to vote, right?
Yeah,
Everybody
of
from the
course.
past. Like, for example, all those that were involved from the past, right? Like,
absolutely.
who else? Like Abdul, like Zilu, like, who else?
Correct.
Jennifer, or everybody can vote, not only Alberto. If the
Everybody.
ownership is the, right?
That's my whole point. Is that
Right or
people, as
wrong?
far as I'm concerned, anybody in the public can vote. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyone in the public could vote,
Yeah,
Yes.
as
everyone
far as
can
I'm
vote,
Yeah.
concerned.
Joyce.
So anybody on the old
Okay, so not
team can
only
definitely vote.
Alberto.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we have
so
agreement.
Yeah,
Let's just move forward.
okay, so not only Alberto then. Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, everybody. So there's at least a
Okay.
hundred people. There's at least 100 people who could vote.
So
Yeah, we
anybody
have
who will vote on the
Jessica,
proposal,
Mary Kay.
yeah,
Everybody can
so,
vote.
yeah, so
Everybody.
anybody who
Everybody,
will vote
everybody.
will be included in the tally.
Yes, everybody.
Okay, then.
Because this is the membership vote.
Okay.
Okay, we
Okay,
have
then.
agreement. Let's move forward.
Yeah.
At least that way all of us can deal with it.
So now it's clear that it's not only Alberto's vote. So
Yeah, it's
everybody.
clear. It's clear. Everybody.
Okay. Okay. Hmm.
I have a question. I would like to know how these calculations are done. Amount that put there. Because I can see
The
with
spreadsheet
back
is
pay,
there.
without
Listen,
back pay.
go and look the spreadsheet. I'm just doing my own work here. Go and the spreadsheet. I link the spreadsheet there in the note.
Like Lucy, for your
I
question.
just need a clue.
So
There's not even if I go to spreadsheet, if I have no idea.
okay, like for example,
Have you done
Lucy.
the spreadsheet
Kindly
before?
explain for me, please.
No, I'm just like trying to. I'm just doing some calculations here. It's not as if.
Like for
I
example, Lucy, no, Lucy. So what's your question? The back pay or what?
No, no. I would like to know how the total that you guys. I don't know who was working on it. How is that total is coming about? Like I have 848. How is
Yeah,
how was
yeah.
that
You can
done? I
in
don't
the
know.
spreadsheet you can see the
Yeah,
formula
that's what I say.
where we
If
got
you go to the spreadsheet, it'll be
it.
easy.
Yeah, where we got it like AD3 or whatever. It's as you press the amount, you can see where it's coming from, so you can
The
uh,
spreadsheet is on line 2 in our notes. So if you go
just
to it,
see
you'll get better understanding.
the only the figures that we saw. That's the one we put there, like your tracking sheet before, or your
I'm even trying to do this
what
calculation in
else,
my
and the
formula is not gonna know why.
back pay
What is
spreadsheet.
this
So what?
reconciliation about to minus
Yeah,
$75?
reconciliation, like it is in one time and past payroll tab, D49, right? So if you go there, then you can see that yours is, where is it? D49. So you can see before you have the 4 months, you have 46.25. Which tab is that again? I
V.
lost. D, what's that?
Not D. On V, I see minus 79.
Yeah, so how is that minus 79? Because remember when we did the one-time payroll, we sent you money, and then but then those months your work is only 1 month, and it is the one sent to you was more than the one you work for. So that's why there's a negative there. If you see your where is it? Where is
So if
Does
you
that
look on the
mean that
spreadsheet, there's another tab there for one
yeah,
time and pay
yeah,
zero.
that man? No, I
yeah,
don't know.
that month.
I don't
So
understand.
36 degree, I
And
think
I'd
36
like to
degree.
make sure it's clear that my understanding of all these calculations, they have not been verified yet, but it's just still, it's a good estimate, right? We did this to get it estimate. Check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just want to know because that negative 75, no, 79.
La, Lucy, when did you
Uh,
for this one
I
time
only
payment?
receive a bonus for not more than $79.
What bonus?
They have an year bonus.
Yeah, half year bonus. We still have we listed there, no? We listed there the half year bonus here in column I, column I. That is the where is it? Column I.
Yes, it's there. Column I is
Column
there.
I. That's your bonus here. Column I. Column I. So all these are the reconciliation is only for the 4 months. You remember the one time payment when you were still new, you were still 1 month, and we sent you more than your the one you work for that month. That's why it's negative. That's the only one negative there. But when you add all, it's totaling to 848.28.
Let me see I'll check the amount I received, but I remember anyway. I will have to check and
Yeah,
see
you
the
can. It's all
reconciliation.
very verifiable. Everything.
uh, well,
Therefore, how?
I can only ask one question on this one. Hmm? I came here when actually I think this Kenny, the one who we joined with together. I'm still wondering how his totals are coming to 79. Mine are coming to 94. I really do wonder. Well, I don't get the calculations,
Maybe
but
his rate
it's
is
okay.
higher than
It's okay.
you.
Wait. It's okay. It's okay. I don't understand like how are
You
these
need to be looking
calculations
at the
done?
totals. Like
Anyway,
go to the total
eh,
spreadsheet. Do you guys have the total
well,
spreadsheet? Because if you're not looking at the totals, it doesn't make sense. Because if you only look at the
Yeah,
new
that's
payments, then
that's
yeah.
what you're
it
saying. Go to
doesn't
the all
it
upfront payroll
doesn't
estimate. You
The
see,
it
total.
doesn't make
it's
sense.
there month by month,
Well,
so you know why
well,
Kenny is more than you. Go
Yeah,
online,
but
you
well
see
there's
in
then
no
our
way that
shop.
we
and
only
then
paid Uma,
hey
$85.
hey $95. That's what anyway, and then, for the proposal I made, we are waiting for a verification from the HR board, and you said only if one HR board member could review my proposal, and Abubakar reviewed and said no concerns. So please, I'm
So what
requesting.
are we doing now? Please, Uma. Yes, we can finish with this one topic and then we go back to your topic. We should not be mixing up. We are asking a question on the spreadsheet. Are you satisfied? Have you gone
Well,
to the spreadsheet?
it will take me time to get satisfied with that one, but maybe in time I'll get to understand. I don't know.
You
Okay,
need to go
Me,
to
I'm
Kenny.
the
still
spreadsheet, go there and
Ken,
sensitive.
check.
Uma,
No,
Like
it doesn't
Kenny's.
make
How
sense.
much is Kenny's?
Somebody who was here for 2 days could.
Okay,
No, no, no.
do you
You
know
can't
how much is
explain that
Kenny's?
in any way.
Do you know how much is Kenny's per hour? Maybe
And how
that's the
many
reason
days was he
why.
here? How
Maybe
many
that's
days
the
was he
reason
here?
why. No,
How
but
many days was he here?
he was talking
okay,
wait,
okay,
are
Uma.
you asking us
Uh,
that question? Are you asking us the question? Are we Kenny? Did we track Kenny's eye? Us? You should go and ask him
well,
on
it's
Discord.
okay.
Maybe he will answer you.
No,
You
I
should not
won't
ask us.
ask.
We are not Kenny.
No,
We
no.
and
Uh,
I won't
that
ask
work was
anything.
it wasn't even done by us. So the only thing we
Hey,
added,
Ate,
it did not
I
concern
won't
you.
ask
Oh,
anything. I won't ask
uh-huh.
anything.
So meaning you are
Yeah,
satisfied.
I
Okay,
won't
so move
ask
forward.
anything. Whether I'm satisfied or not, it should not even concern you as well.
It should not concern
I
me.
won't ask anything. Yeah, it shouldn't. Just
Ah,
focus on yours.
but you're stopping the session, so it concerns me when you are stopping the session and you're asking
Because it does
questions.
I'm saying it doesn't make sense for me. If it makes sense for you, it's okay. But you don't have to force it to make
My
sense to me if
dear,
it doesn't.
I said go and check. Go and ask Kenny why he's having more than you. I don't know. I've
I
not
don't
tracked
have
Kenny
that
as.
time.
So why are we stopping? Let's continue.
Where are you guys seeing this that Kenny's getting more than Uma? It
I
doesn't make
don't know.
sense.
Uh,
Can someone
Ask
share your screen?
Uma.
I want to see this.
Uma, share your
Where is
screen
it?
and explain to Jay, please.
You need to be looking at the total amounts, right? Which is going to be the new payment plus the existing payment, and you get the total. Do you guys have that spreadsheet? It's the overall calculations for all of the options? Do you guys have that spreadsheet?
Uma, do
Yeah,
you
I
have
mean,
that spreadsheet
I
and
I
share your
linked the
screen,
spreadsheet in
please?
our notes. The spreadsheet is linked in our notes online. So
Yeah,
Can
Uma, if you
someone
can
share it in
explain
their
your
screen?
concern.
Can someone share their screen and tell us how much Uma is getting total plus the additional
Uma?
okay,
44?
let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Yes.
Hmm.
Are you guys seeing my screen?
Yes, I can see the screen. So this spreadsheet is the
Okay,
all
if we
upfront
hear this
payroll
is
estimate. This is the wrong spreadsheet. This only has the new payment. So we need to look at the other spreadsheet, which is the options, the
The
final
copy.
payment options.
the
Final
copy.
payment options.
The final payment options.
The tab, you mean? The tab?
No, it's not the spreadsheet at all. It's a separate spreadsheet. The final payment options.
So I think Jay has another spreadsheet. Okay, link it. I
Where
don't
is
have
the
that one.
spreadsheet, Jay? Can you
I
link
don't
in our
have that one.
notes?
It's the final payment options with all the options. For example, if we
Did you
do,
create another spreadsheet?
we had 4 spreadsheets. Remember there was 4 spreadsheets?
Why now?
You can
I know
also
only
go to the
two.
165. If you go to because Uma was only been here for 165, so go to the 165 spreadsheet.
Mm,
Go. Is there an info tab on all upfront payroll estimates? Is there an info tab?
yes, but there's nothing.
Nothing. All right. You should link all 4 spreadsheets there. That's where I linked it in some of the other ones.
Okay, let me look at the token. Let me look at the all token. Okay, let me see if it is
Yeah, check
there.
the info tab. I tried to copy and paste all 4 on all the spreadsheets, but I guess I missed that one.
Okay, no, it's not there. Info tab. Nothing is there.
Yeah,
Spreadsheets
so
I know
someone could make sure that
about.
all 4 spreadsheets get linked to all 4 spreadsheets in the info tab. That would be very helpful.
Hmm,
So we keep track of them
what
all.
was even that session again?
And also, I still have the question. Uh, Based on what you guys do the calculation only for 4 years, if this is like the
Which
solution,
one?
what about the rest of the years?
Which
Is it
one?
only 4 years? You guys only vote for 4 years? Is the organization exist only for 4 years?
Which one you mean?
I mean the calculation. I check calculation is only. I think only calculation was done only for 4 years, not the whole of the years.
Yeah, we did only the ones that we saw. That are there are details. So if you did not put your details in the back page word or spreadsheet,
It's not
so
about the back pages. I was asking, uh, why
mhm.
are we only doing the calculation for only 4 years, not the whole of the years? If it were just to do all the reconciliation, since this is just a dissolution for organization, or is any other special thing for other Romanians?
why did we do only 4 years? You mean?
Yes,
Okay, so if you have the what's it called, the details for the other years, because that's the only one we saw. So if you have the details for the other years, you are welcome to
My
to add to your
my
calculation.
my understanding is when they went back to the 4 years, they were just focusing on their own, right? Their own details. But I feel like anyone could go back as far as they wanted if you wanted to go back further, Lucy. But either way,
Mhm.
what makes sense is to get understanding and agreement on the actual amounts of money so that we can get clarity on how many years it even makes sense to go back. Like, sure, we could go back 100 years, but like at some point, it's like we only can get agreement on so much money, right? Does that make sense?
yeah.
But either way, did you guys find the 4 spreadsheets?
No, no.
No,
But
the only base token I got. Only base
Yeah, me too. I
token.
have only open and base token, so
I did
I
not
don't
know
know
about
about that.
other spreadsheets. What are the other
Me too.
spreadsheets?
Okay, I'll try to get them. We'll see if I can get online and do this. It's not gonna be a big problem, but I'll try.
So I remember these are the two only that we work together with Ate.
Good.
Yes.
Always token. So I link the always token there. I don't know the other spreadsheets.
Right, I'm trying to get them.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Like Lucy, I don't have the information for your 165. You have a sick leave, no? Is it sick leave or paid leave for 165 or is it 45?
Where?
45. 45.
45, no? Yeah, you can also add your 45 sick leave here if you want. Because I
Yes.
don't know how
Pay
to,
leave.
how much, yeah. So you can just make a column here, then 45
All all
next to the,
four all four of the are right here in column G. All four are in column G already. You guys had it all already.
it's already there.
Column.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can put it down here on
Column?
line 10 on line 10 105, 108. I guess the links are
Oh, no.
here too.
Here. This one.
They're
Yeah,
all
we
there.
have base token.
So the easiest one to see is the 165, which is line 108.
Line 108. Okay.
And if you can copy all four options into all the other spreadsheets so we don't lose it, that'd be good.
More option.
So
Okay,
if you
let me
go
add it
to
in the base token.
UMA, for example, the reimbursement is
Where is that
final reimbursement
spreadsheet?
is 44 whatever, right?
Look online one from
Line
105 down. The spreadsheets are there.
Under our
line.
note
Yeah,
today.
our
Yes.
note. Our note.
Yeah.
So his total pay is $214, and Kenny's pay was $2.86. I mean, I don't know. I don't see any pay for Kenny. Like, I just don't understand.
Where in which spreadsheet are you, Jay?
The 165 degree west and 45, it's line 108.
Okay.
Oh, also, one other thing based on what Lucy was saying was that it's not really like at this time we are not discussing a full organizational or network dissolution. We are only discussing the dissolution of the team, right? Which means we have two forks and we have potential for a new team. Does that make sense, Lucy?
Yes.
Yeah, so the organization and the ownership and the client can all vote to create budgets to get client work done. Like there's still a lot of client work that needs to get done. The fact that this particular team has chosen to stop doing client work doesn't necessarily affect anyone else to just stop all the client work and to just dissolve everything, right? That's a discussion for the ownership to make. If the owners decide that they want to dissolve the entire organization and liquidate the token or do whatever, they certainly could decide to do that, but that's a very different discussion than just an UMCUS proposal, right? Does that make sense?
Yes. See, now we have many spreadsheet. Which one is the right spreadsheet that we are using? I would
The
like just to
easiest,
know one.
the easiest, simplest spreadsheet is the 165-degree west and 45-degree east for people who've only been around for 2 months, which includes Nemo, Kenny, Oma, um, as well as Benjamin, Gloria, and others. Right. So this covers all of the payments for the current 2 months. Which my calculation for Uma is in the range of $214. And then for Kenny is only like
Two
less than
dollars.
$5. Yeah, so I don't understand what Uma is saying that somehow Kenny's getting more money than him. It doesn't make any sense.
Sure.
But for you, Lucy, you don't want to look at this spreadsheet because this spreadsheet only covers 2 months. You're going to want to look at the 6 month spreadsheet or the bigger spreadsheet to get the details of the entire um, bigger picture because you've been involved for so long. You know?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So how can I include my pay for those 2 weeks?
Have you tracked on your tracking sheet?
Yes. I don't know the calculation for that.
That is it. So if Jay could help us do the calculation, then we just add it there.
It well, they're probably going to the other direction. But is anyone else here? Does anyone know who? It's myself. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Jay, how did you calculate the
So
45 degree?
45 degrees not calculated correctly yet. It's just estimated.
Okay, so
So
this will still change, huh?
yeah, I can still change for sure. But we are trying. The goal was to try to estimate it and get something started.
Mhm.
So as far as lines 117 to 126, I added the voting if people wanted to vote for the options, like I mentioned, since no one put the options together. So that's up to everybody if you want to vote. But and then also we can still go through individuals. But
Yeah, I think there should be an option like 13,000.
Sorry, say again.
I think there should be an option for 13,000.
Okay, I mean all the options are there. People can vote however they want to. I just made these. I was just recommending these options in relationship to what was voted on in the by the team in the voting form. Yeah, check.
So are you saying there cannot be an option for 13,000?
I'm saying you can add whatever option that you want. I'm just saying that 13,000 was not voted higher than the 24,000 got the highest vote, and then 2,000 and 3,000 got the second highest vote, and then 9,000 got fourth vote.
So meaning there was no 5,000, there was no 6,000.
Correct. Yes. So it went 24,000, 2,000, 4,000, or no, 2,000, 3,000, 9,000. Those were that was the order. So for me, it seemed like I mean, we can like under our policies, we could vote for the 24,000. Like 24,000 got the highest support, and so we can make a proposal to propose a 24,000, and then we can vote on it and see what happens. But realistically, the 24,000 had two blocks, and so then you go to the next highest option, which would be the 2,000. Probably would not. It's like the lowest option. Then you go to the next option after that, which is like the 3,000. But the point is that somewhere between 2,000 and 9,000 seems to be the direction the team is going. Does that make sense?
So are we voting or what are we doing? Okay.
Yeah, we're voting.
I don't know. We can talk about it. It's fine. Whatever you guys want to do right now, it's fine. Or we go on to another topic and discuss this more tomorrow.
Let's just go over it. Let's vote.
Yeah, it's always helpful to see how things might have changed, and then just kind of check in on the vote, see where the options sort of align, and then that can help build the proposals.
Can we please take a break?
Now we can take a break.
Yeah, great idea. Rhythm.
Let's take 5 minutes.
Hello, can anyone hear me? Can anyone hear me? I can't hear
Yes,
Yes.
anyone.
Gloria, we just went to a break. Hello, Gloria.
Okay.
We can start voting.
Yes, I heard you, Joyce.